Hello to another stream, and nothing much to say. Let's go straight into the game. I did again bad with the sound settings. I hope this time it's better. I did try to make the game way silenter, so green card, so you hear me better. And I do realize that how do I say this? I have a slight tendency to my words. I don't know how to say that. Like I do have a certain, like how I did now, a certain tendency to curve my end of my words, the end of my words with an S, and probably I don't know why I do that, but it will be kind of hard to not do that. Hopefully, slutty rocket. We need to finally get a slutty cannon. That sounds fun every time I say it. I did want to kind of today take a day off, but unfortunately I did so that I did get some views on my streams, and I was like, damn, I cannot, unfortunately. If he 100 is, I would be more comforted if there was only like 0 views on everything. I could take a few days off and be like, no one's there to watch, so it wouldn't really matter if I did take a few days off. But unfortunately, there are people. Even even if those people watch 10 seconds, I hope in those 10 seconds I say something that's nice. First of all, you'd really have a bad impression if those 10 seconds that someone did take out of the day to watch me. I was doing straight bonkers things. I do hope I did say something nice when these people were watching. And I'm kind of self-negative, maybe they watch more than 10 seconds. But that's kind of hard to imagine. Like I said, I don't really have a favorable impression of my voice. I do not know why. Well, I do guess I have a linking to why that is. I guess I feel internally that doesn't represent me the best, but that's kind of a false statement because that's literally me. That is the thing that represents me, my voice. So I guess that. I guess I could get used to it. I've been till now, but it's extremely hard because till now I haven't really listened to my voice that much. Let's say I did have some bouts of inspiration, even though I know I cannot sing for the life of me. I will not stop. I will just not. I want to continue to, I don't know, like 20 years into the future after so I hate duels. After so much time trying, I guess I will get somewhat decent like cadence or something like that could make up for the lack of voice. So I guess that's second. I guess I'll do. It will just do. I don't expect to, like I said, to have a singer quality voice playing it into the future, but I do expect to have a. So I say this, there is kind of like an archetype that I'm thinking now. There are people that literally do not know how to sing, haven't really trained or anything, but they do have a very nice, a very even, or maybe a very, how would I say this, a very rich tone when they sing. And that's what I'm aiming for. Especially older people that I do see when they let's say sing from the soul. That would be the best description. They literally sing without care for if it sounds good or not. I'm aiming for that. And don't boom me out, please. Yes, thank you. We'll go armor. And I do aim for that, meaning that even though I do realize my singing is not the best, I will prevail. I should really start looking at chat. I do not know how to make an overlay over my game screen with the I'm over here. With the... Can I boom you? I didn't boom you. With the... like chat. Because it is on the monitor of my laptop. And that's bad because when I am kind of extremely focused on the game, I do forget to look at it. I did do something new today, but again my mute my mute shortcuts, which is good. I forgot to like start making the like border for my for my stream to start drawing it, but I guess I will need to do that after stream. I did start way earlier, which is was the plan. How do I say this? It's do we have aura? We do have less size. I don't really want to stream again very late because first of all it will leave me no time to like after stream. I would again deep into the I'm gonna die. I'm gonna deep again to double jumping sleep, better said, which I would not sleep a day and then let's take ages. Wait for night to come, stream again and then crash sleep till wake up either middle of the night or middle of the day. So I should stream how I did now at 8. Night, but not night. How I did exaggerate some things. So it does bring it back. Like I said, if I did have extremely, let's not take luck. If I did have extremely zero retention on my videos, meaning exactly zero, would have been way easier. How many megas? 2. That's it, only that. It would have been extremely easy to be like, oh, no one's watching, so there's nothing to lose. But now I did see there are not many views, of course, but there are some, so I should not give up, I guess. And that was my first and original goal that I did started streaming, was to do a thing that I will not give up easily. So I guess till now there hasn't been any extremely big challenges. I do foresee some involving other people, which I would guess would come soon enough. Whatever that soon is. Oh, Bob, nice. Soon is a few months, a few years. I should make my schedule. I have another arch nemesis besides Google's. It's a schedule. But I guess not necessarily a schedule itself, because I do have schedules. It's should I leave an open schedule, like not an open schedule, like I will stream today, not saying like, should I put like I will most likely start stream between the hours of 7 and 8 or something like that, or it still be too open? I need to have a strict, like I will start at 7, because what I'm feeling is not the schedule itself, is the activity of min-maxing. I'm feeling that I'm starting again to min-max, and I will kind of lose heart to come to stream if I do that. Because I don't know, I know some streamers that are 2 or 3 years into streaming and they still don't have a concrete schedule. I'm looking at no one I look at no one specifically. Cough. Anyway, so I don't know, should I? Or should I guess I'll be a little more chaotic and try to make an invisible like schedule. I'll try to stream between the hours of at the very minimum it's either gonna be like extreme morning or 6 and up, like 6 night evening on my time. And I guess you can calculate, but my time is, if I did say that now it's 8 something. Let's see. Hmm, what do I say? Yes, I should be a little bit more chaotic. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to choke myself with restriction that they obviously would be good. I can give myself a few months to be chaotic, and only after a certain period I can make a more stricter schedule. I guess to some person that would be, I don't know, wasted, I guess. That's, I would rather have a scarf. It's okay. I would rather have the like experience for a few months with streaming, and I guess the retention that I myself come back to stream, not a viewer, than having to again. I hate and I love the min-maxing lifestyle. That's all I can say. It's extremely useful when it's useful, because that puts you in a position that I don't know how to say this. We do have a green card, but 0 keys. Let's see. This puts you in the position of you do realize it than most people. Here's the boss. On the other part of the map. So to say, you do realize that there is more options, and the way you. Yes, we did get the slutty cannon. Uh, 2 epic ones. But, how would I describe this kind of hard? Let's see. We do realize that options matter more when you min-max, meaning the more options and the more choices you have, the higher chance of you arriving at your goal. Meaning with the how I did say with my schedule, if I do min-max it now, I could make it a very like streamlined experience, but there's 100% chance that 100%, not per chance, 100 per chance. 100. How do I say this? There's 100 out of 100 chance that I would not come back to Scream if I would the restriction would be too strict on me. And even though I myself put that restriction on myself, but still, I guess there is no, how to say, there is no point of no resentment. No, resentment, especially even for myself, if I do put it and like making a promise and not keeping it, I guess. That's why I want to trim a little bit more. Do we take? Let's take it. And only when I, and only after only, in my experience now, I could put a tighter schedule. Do we die? Hello, ages? Hello, shield? I want to go straight to... And I'm on Boxton. Ah, damn. If I did got another 2 ages, I could have jump hopped to the portal. Anyway, let's get the slutty cannon. I do hope to get them in a run. Let's see, quests, items, what other... I guess we'll go Slutty Rocket again. I do like this white skin with a drip. It's super nice, yes, I say that, nice. Let's see, I do hope the sound, it's better this time, I swear that, that's easy. Let's see, knife. What else to yap about? I think I'll have more energy. Like I said, if I don't stream at like 1 in the morning, I do guess my body does go in the state of energy preservation, so I am kind of more silent. What is my slutty cannon? I do guess I'm more in a more quieter, especially with my voice. I need to make my streams more watchable. I do not know if I should put chat overlay. We do need to get Bloody Tome to 12 or something for an item, I think. I don't know if I should put chat overlay, especially because I have obviously no mods. I am my own mod, and sometimes I'm not fast enough to act. So I could, like, after someone does say something, I guess inappropriate, I could go, like, if it doesn't show on stream, I could go delete the message, kick the person out, bonk him, or her, whatever gender or persona they have. So that's not bad, but if it's on screen, I'll need to cut the VOD, I guess. I don't know how to do that, but at one point I would guess need to know. Let's see. I will make the border today. I need to know. I don't want to make the black to kind of, how do I say this, to blend better with the like normal OBS kind of when I stretch the game capture, so it will be obviously back, but I do want to make it cloud, I guess, or maybe some symbols, but there need to be something nice. I guess I'm gonna get a few hours of headaches of making a design, repeating it, seeing if it's nice, having a nice like enough template and trying to make it better, having 100 projects, 100 different projects, 100, that's obviously an exaggeration, but I would have tens of them, look at them, see what's better, what's worse, take one, look at the other, look at the element of another and be like, I like that, let's try to replicate on this one. Never getting it the same, being like, can I be dirty and crop it? Like, I don't know, sometimes I guess dirtier solutions do work. What do you have? I guess that could work, especially if I want a certain part of a thing that I did draw. I did die kind of early. We don't have Slutty Rocket. That's okay. What's this? Mines. It's an item? Probably. After this we'll again grind for with calcium on we'll grind calcium to get that the cursed charge shrine during a sandstorm. Let's take XP. So I'm curious what XP does. Is it making it for us easier, like is getting the cap of XP lower? Like if I now need 1000, is it getting it like 950? Or does it make XP count more, like if now 1 XP was obviously 1, now with what is it? XP gain, we get now 1.3 XP and does count like that? Or it's actually making more XP overall when I kill an enemy, like it drops more XP, or is there a chance to drop more XP? I would be curious to know what like curious, know what it does. Because I did see another thing that's kind of weird. Well, not really, because games did become way more complex than old times. I haven't really seen like cheat sheets, like with entire settings for a game, like especially because digital, like CDs did kind of die, so that would be one point. But I didn't really see like you getting a paper and actually saying that this does this, this does this, this does this. Rarely I have seen that, and more cheat sheets that I've seen have been made by the community that does play the game. Ooh, damage. Let's see. I do hope that the overlay does come. Not overlay, the damage, legendary, nice. The chocolate fudge, the background does come out nice. Because obviously sometimes I do get lucky and it does come nice. Hopefully I do get lucky again. Or maybe I know, I guess I'll see. Maybe I'll is there any application that makes random patterns? To see one more that spirally, to see if I can like take it, overlay it over a black background, and then no. Ooh, nice. A good microwave, and there are two microwaves. Ghouls, two microwaves, one right there. Nice. We need the key, I guess. Let's see what you are selling, sir. We'll take. We'll take the money soul. I now did see that the cooldown on Thunder is like 10 seconds, which is not really much. So we do have Bob, which would kind of guarantee our kill rate, like per second, like random kill rate, would at least keep us at constant something, like 300 something. Let's see. What the size to a sniper rifle? No, I don't know. Is it like longer? I can snipe mobs from a longer distance. I obviously kind of don't know what does it do with ages. It's kind of like a full body effect, meaning that does matter size with ages. You do get lightning plug, which is okay, I guess. To get another lightning plug, which is I want to take a chest. I need to remember where I place sniper. Ghost. Get his there. Touch me their souls. I did deactivate, and I would hope you do too, especially if you are gaming. There is a setting in Windows, especially for if you do go control panel. I do guess that you could do that easier in Linux. There is you go control panel, like input devices, go to your mouse, then you click it, settings, properties, or something like that. It should give you a like menu with 4 or 5 selection, and you should go to clicker, or you should look through all of them. And there is one that kind of accelerates your mouse, meaning that even if you do have like report rate of 1000 or something like that, it would always accelerate like per speed. I did see kind of like a good reel about it, and I was like, oh shit, that's why I was every time, how to see it, the faster you move the more exaggerated the mouse placement were, and I could never get like extremely precise. I was wondering why. You should deactivate it or keep it at like normal, because it is kind of a slider situation. Let's see, attack speed, projectile count. We'll take. We do have XP. We'll take projectile count. We have a sniper. Do we take lightning? We'll take lightning. Give me the demonic soul. We'll take XP. For the sniper I want damage. Raw damage. We do have to evade. Let's take it. We do kind of crazy damage. Is this a storm? Yes, I do spawning. Let's take heal. Let's see, expire. We'll want attack speed if you do get a chance to. That's all? A little bit less, I guess. Let's see, damage, yes, you. Let's take some chest. I do hope the sound is better. I don't kind of. Ooh, beefy. Nice. I don't want to replicate others' people's sound, but I do guess mine, even though I did make it, so it does. Ooh, but nice red. Bloody. It's. How do I say? I don't want to replicate like other people. We do have any shield or anything. We should take a shield tomb or something. I don't want to replicate the feel of other people like streamers and such, but I do get my phone microphone. It does have a very weird 3D effect, I guess. I can't really map it, so it does sound like I'm forward in like headphones or something like that, like in a stereo environment. I cannot really make it so I'm closer to the like background sound. There is kind of like an echo if the plugins did work. Let's take fly still then. It doesn't really. I don't know how to do that. Probably an EQ would help me, but unfortunately they don't work, plugins. I'm sure I fucked up somewhere because people do use them, meaning they do work. I need to do something. I'll look after stream. Do kind of like plugins outside of OBS also work in OBS if I put it on like the mic side, or is gonna be buggy as hell, like a mountain of problems. Let's take our base damage. And attack speed. Let's see. Beer, nice. Huh. If you do have, can you get 1 HP? Like actually 1 HP would beer kill you if you do take when you have only 1 HP or 1 HP. Like, only to own 1 HP, not to be at 1 HP. Would beer kill you? Or it be kind of like give you damage regardless? Can you get? Like how many? That's a good question. How many beers can you take till you get like a number that doesn't go down like 1? Let's go for damage again. Let's see. Oh, what am I? The boss will try to go at 1 minute and a half. We'll try to be a little bit more kind of calculated how we do the runs, especially if we do want to have more 2-tier runs than dying in the overworld, especially when we do get boxed in or I have skill issues, which I will say I do have sometimes skill issues. I should take a lifesteal if it does so graciously give me, which is not. Attack speed, especially, obviously the attack speed and lifesteal does synergize, but we'll need a crazier amount of lifesteal not to instantly get one-shotted. We'll take max SP. We do have time, let's go. Let's see if now I did the controls and TV game. Let's put input delay 0, I'm curious to see. It does seem to be more responsive. Let's try to game like this a little bit to see if it's really good. I am sometimes used to kind of, well, I don't know at what level of like input delay I'm used to, because some games don't even let you put, like, let you control input delay. So I wouldn't really know, but I'll try to see if it's I play better like this. Let's see. Another shroud? Well, I guess that's good. Attack speed. It doesn't seem to do pretty okay. We'll take this and go. Movement speed. Do we get out of our way? What else to yap about? I just kind of have a topic before stream that I did want to talk about. What was it? I don't know what was it, but I was just gonna take this. Hello. I do really need more lifesteal. Well, it was anxiety. And why did I want to talk about that? I did realize there is so many types of anxieties, especially like, obviously there's only one type of anxiety conceptually, but it manifests in so many ways and so different forms. It's kind of fascinating, especially when you do observe it yourself. Is it damage? No. It's kind of weird when you realize that. I don't know, that some anxieties feel worse than others, I guess, depending on your circumstances. I guess you should document that about yourself. If you really need to be conscious about the way you behave or react to certain things, which is always good. You should always do that, in my opinion at least. If you want to have a minimum amount of control over yourself, you should watch yourself and record mentally. If you don't like to do it digitally or physically, you actually record in a log your reaction to certain things. You should at least mentally, and if you do remember them, not me, you should translate them into one of many mental processes, like you should transform them into emotions or something like that. So you, how do I say this? Something normal. Can you compress, or is it a me thing? Can you compress like memories into emotions and recompress, decompress them back into something sometimes readable like memories? I can do that. Like I do a certain thing that I like, I take what I like sometimes forget the action, but when I do again that action, I'm about to do the action, I get the feeling that from the previous one. Is that a normal human like processes? I do not know. Yeah, probably it is, it probably isn't. I can't say for sure. It does work for me. Is it healthy? I cannot say. Should I recommend that to you? No. Should recommend that to you all in the case that any other form doesn't work. If you literally don't want to, mm, literally don't want to note it down anywhere beside your head, so you want to be extremely private. And why I wouldn't recommend you doing that? Because definitely there is a risk, and that would be you overwhelming yourself with, not overwhelming yourself with, how do I say this? Imagine like hard drive forgetting the headers to some sectors of data, meaning that literally there is no connection between the data block and where the like hard drive remembers putting them. So you literally have a bunch of raw like piles of emotions that you forget the connection between certain things, and I guess that would be pretty bad. So you should do that only in the case that you are like me, in a slightly special situation. Or I don't know, emotion related, you should go to a professional, like how I will say, continue saying it. You should take advice, but a grain of salt. I don't know, spoonful of it. I guess you could try useful advice that doesn't sound crazy, meaning you shouldn't do that, you should try to do this to feel better, and if it does work for you, short periods of time, you should try to exercise caution. Not to the highest degree, because like I said, if something doesn't sound crazy in essence, like eat some fruits every day, I guess, that doesn't sound crazy in essence, and it does conform to common sense, so I guess it shouldn't be bad advice. But again, that's so case specific that for some people I can even recommend like, eat 2 apples a day. Maybe they're allergic to apples, allergic to something crazy like glucose. Is it possible to be allergic to glucose? That would be hell unfortunate if someone did have that condition. Or maybe you're very sensitive to acids. Something like that. Yes, you should know your situation first before you even try to give advice or take advice. That's because you can give advice. How did I die so? That's how my good runs fall. What I was saying. Oh yes, anxiety. I do find kind of fascinating how some anxieties feel, I guess, because in the moment it's very stressful and unpleasant, but you should also reflect on those kind of things. And I myself do that sometimes, and sometimes I kind of my brain does work kind of rapidly, and I can do that exactly like second after I feel it. Sometimes I need days to process that, or maybe I will never process it. Kind of random at best, I cannot say. Or maybe there is kind of an underlying like table of things that there is no chance of me processing ever, and some things that can be really rapidly, but I guess I need to remember and, I don't know, index every single detail of every smidge of emotional reaction that I have to even get somewhere close to finding why certain reactions make certain repulsion, or why certain repulsion makes me certainly feel something. That would be extremely hard. Not really. I guess you could make a simple version of that, like with a 5 column, like, let's see, HP, luck, 5 column, like spreadsheet. You should like take 5, let's see, 5 things that make you feel strongly, and split them into how many how many smaller reactions that made you feel that strongly about something, and do that continuously, do that till you get to a certain point that you simply cannot like split them anymore, and they go for every row of them, and like try to remember why you would feel that, and put a, I don't know, separate for every, like a separate entry for every single reaction. And at the end you should have like 100 something reactions, especially with 5 categories and many small sub-ons. And every time you do kind of feel about something, you should go look at it back again, see your primary reaction to that scenario. Ah, fuck. And like rewrite it, I guess, but not so you don't delete the previous one. Let's go try to farm and do that constantly, and after you have a rendition of 5 of those the same reaction, I guess you could have a certain pattern in mind. That be kind of crazy. I did click desert, why did it give me like overall? And I have it also on stream. Anyway, my mother crazy of the games, playing games with me. Like a shot, nice. How much was it? 102. 30, 73. Yes, I said after 5 times, let's say, of the same reaction, you putting it, logging it in every time, you should see a pattern. Especially if you have like a trail of reactions, like more than 5 of for every split, and individually, you should have a very clear pattern of why you don't like certain things. And if it's not clear enough, then continue logging in. One point or another, you should have a certain pattern. It's impossible not to have a pattern, especially because you're not a chaos like element. You don't have that many chaotic elements in your human body besides actual physical material and decay rate or something like that, which has a very small impact on your emotional state. Well, at least I hope it does have a small impact upon your emotional state. So yeah, you should start seeing the pattern at one point or another. And if you don't start seeing it, continue logging in. Maybe you don't see the pattern, but that could be an extremely good thing to show to a professional, like to say that, hey, I have these reactions. Especially you shouldn't really be, I guess, that to ever be a possibility. You shouldn't really be closed to a possibility of other people reading it, so you should write it in such a way that it doesn't attack you personally very hard, but does describe you the best possible way that an other person wouldn't judge you instantly. So you should write it in mind with not only you reading it, but other people. So nothing extremely personal, but actually describing what you're going through. And I guess a professional would take that and be like, you may not see any correlation, but I can see many, and give you a rundown. Technically, you could make his job easier. And again, that's another simple thing. If you didn't like his breakdown of your things, you could pack your stuff up, go to another one, got another one till you find someone that resonates with you. You shouldn't stay, I guess, in a, again, another advice. You shouldn't stay in a professional relationship with somebody that trying to help you that doesn't succeed. Even though that may take extreme amount of time and patience on your part, if you actually don't feel that it's working out, you should search for somebody else. I just don't get gaslighted in a sense of not get gaslighted. Do not become overly attached to someone that helps you because that's their actual job. You may develop a slight friendship with them, I guess that's in the professional bounds, but anything more than that becomes unprofessional, so you shouldn't think they're your best friend, a friend that you can talk to, sure, to make the, I guess, the discussion easier, but never think they're your best friend and you couldn't leave them be, you couldn't leave them ever. You should always. But I guess I shouldn't say that, right? Not because it's not saying, but that does put a light on me. So, did I get the? Yes, I did get the cue. Yeah, if you don't get what you came for, you should leave. Simple as that, regardless of relationship. Meaning, even if you like really clicked with that person, if the professional help doesn't help you, you shouldn't stay just because you find them friendly. That's the obvious, right? I know I'm saying it, and to some people I may sound like I'm stating the fucking obvious, but I don't know. I hope it doesn't sound enlightening to some people. It would be kind of bad. Because sometimes even I myself kind of feel weird stating the obvious, but I do know when I do say stating the obvious, some people don't get the obvious. Like I myself sometimes I'm so out of the loop on something that the obvious flies right over my head. So if you do kind of continue staying in the loop, you do not know what the obvious. Fuck. The obvious is. And no one says the obvious because it is the obvious. Like how no one says. How the heck is. Wait. Yes, game capture does. I was wondering if do I need to do desktop capture plus game capture to get the game and the background on it? I will see. It's still kind of loud game capture, but I do not know if it's. Anyway, I did try to make it. No, well, exit this one. Play. Calcium. Does it need to like fully load to actually get the. I really want you. Haven't I beaten you? I do think I beat the bandit a few times. So I need to beat him. Nah, I forgot what the. What was saying? Do I need to beat him with a certain character? Let's see. It does feel better without the acceleration. I need to also get the drivers for my mouse. So that's what it does. Like, I should install CS to see how it does play. don't know. I don't want to say if I still got the dog in me. I should also install like League to play some, and I'm not playing like ranked. I don't need that level of toxicity in my life. I'll play like normal, or even ARAM. I do not know, like obsessive League players have something, really something kind of with ARAM. They hated with so much passion. Don't consider you a real League player if you play it. Yes, and I did play RAM, and I didn't like it. Especially because 10 matches you will get 9 matches with you playing with actual bots and other players like having 5 players that are surfing, no, smurfing, yes, not surfing, that's crazy, smurfing, and you play bots, 12 bots, 1 point you want to, I don't know, to slightly cuss, especially if you have skins that you can say your account goodbye if you start, especially because once you start you can't really stop. I haven't really started. The maximum I would say was like passive aggressive shit. Like what did I say? I don't remember anymore, but it was getting the point across that you're an asshole and you should feel that. Maybe should play Marvel Rivals, but I don't think my potato would run it. Yes, it's a very old potato. It was a very cheap potato. Windows does play like games on it, which I ain't complaining. It was extremely cheap. So cheap it was, well, not really unbelievable, because in the state that it came in, you could say, it was complete, kind of. I could say that 90% of normal people would never buy this, my potato. They simply, what I see, I do have 3 things that help me like overlook extremely like damage items, which would be my mid-maxing mindset, which does like almost 100% ignore things that like slightly damage us, like it doesn't bother me in the least. Let's say even my like old phone, not old phone, like 2 phones ago, I did get it was either a new phone but crappy one, or a like broken one but like actually quality one, and I did go for the broken one. It didn't bother me in the least. It was like kind of fucked up. It was like it did have a better camera, a better like it was a better phone overall than the new one, because for that price again I'm kind of something that I don't think I will put in my descriptions. I'm kind of stingy with money. I will it kind of again comes back into my 3 mindsets of min-maxing, being a DIY kind of person, like finding solutions, which I guess that's one skill that I'm good at, which is finding solutions. Sometimes I'll put a small disclaimer, like 7 fonts smaller sometimes. Let's see what I was saying. Yes, and what would be my third? I guess being stingy would be my third characteristic. Yeah, kind of. Not necessarily stingy in the sense that I wouldn't buy the bare minimum, but I would. But the other thing I get the bad part of stingy, because I have the mid-maxing mindset, plus the stinginess and the DIY. It creates so. It creates how much? 108. Let's farm around here for a little bit to get that. I guess like a paradoxical situation, because I am stingy, I most often the time kind of DIY things, but in the part of DIYing things, I try to min-max them to make them the most perfect way possible. I try to make them the most perfect, but because I'm stingy most of the time, I cannot make things perfect without actually getting the highest quality everything. Like, meaning things will not be perfect if they're not the highest quality. That's because I'm stingy. I cannot get the most high quality stuff. I'll get the most perfect for the situation, like the most appropriate size wise, quality wise that I can find. But because of my min-maxing mindset, I'll try to get the most perfect ones because of my stinginess. You understand the point. I'm stuck in a the Bermuda triangles. And it's bad. And it does. How do you see this kind of situation that happens when you disadvantages as it has advantages, disadvantages obviously, the one that I said. Is it not you? Where is my living ground? It's in that direction. The disadvantages they obviously become visible to the naked eye is that my stress factor is 1,000-fold, especially for everything that I could do better, I should do better. I min-max it. In the min-maxing I find better solutions because I was stingy. I couldn't get the most perfect component for that best solution. But going to spiral. I need to be better. I don't have the materials to be better. I have appropriate materials to be okay. And over and over again spiraling. I guess the name Kravis does fit pretty perfectly in the picture. Where is my legendary boy? There's only two here. Where is... Did I buy it? Are those wisps? I don't really see. It doesn't have any like encyclopedia of monsters or anything. Let's... Is that you? Yes. I think, yes, you are. You are you. A good dragonfire. I should take this one kind of more seriously now that I started. Were you kind of annoying? No, you're just a reskin of the goblin. Let's see. Yes, the disadvantage becomes kind of obvious. I tried to min-max everything as the biggest, and I got 2 debuffs, but the advantages are kind of like subtle, is that most of the things I do that are better quality than if I did them like half-heartedly or like only if I was only one of those things. I was either stingy, DIYing, or min-maxing. I would have gotten a less quality product than if I was not all three. And that's the only positive I think I have on that subject. Why am I getting in a circle right here? And we'll get our pairs. Of course. Let's see. My bitrate is going strong. I do not know why I did a test recording before stream, especially with the sound. It was whack. It was really whack. I got like 3 frames per second and some and now it's going pretty nice. Let's see. I need to make the chat overlay on my main game monitor. I see the chat. I forgot to look at the chat. Especially because I kind of don't expect anyone to be there, and when I do get there, chatting in my chat. I look at it and I'm like, there's certainly someone there. I don't know, maybe I'm so comfortable because I know I'm alone. Like, don't got any expectation to uphold. Because when somebody does watch the VOD here or on YouTube, that's not my problem what they think. But when it's kind of live and they can put their opinion on chat, I think that's kind of different. But I will prevail. I can take poison or bones. Kitchens. Let's see. What else do we have about? Was it? No, that was on Gravestone in the second. How can you go on the second tier of Gravestone? Because I did see a video with no life, nothing. Do you need to be the two that fella that kind of spawns into the crypt after after 30 seconds or whatever? You need to beat him. I did see someone did beat him with a black hole build that kind of stuck him in one place and then beat his ass. But is that considered like beating the run? And you should do that, like go into the crypt, enter the door you kind of came in, and go to a second run. I haven't really seen like any crypt graveyard run more than tier 1, beating that ridiculously high health boss or mini boss. Or stage boss? No, I don't know how it is, the stage boss. I guess we'll be here for a kind of long time, right? Searching for a legendary Sakura pet. Searching for a what's the name? Legendary shrine. Especially now. Santon. I should go a little bit inland. Should I reform my survival kit? I dread going into there and trying to make it even more efficient, because again I min-max the hell out of it, meaning it's already, like, min-max is too hard because now it's kind of heavy, and I do know that I don't have I do have the most optimal things, but I put a little bit too more optimal things in there, and now it's kind of heavy, for me at least. I'd imagine someone stronger could, I don't know, maneuver it better. But I don't know, I do want a more like casual, not necessarily casual, I don't know, because I did have before that like 3 backpacks made with survival stuff in them, like 3 kits, and it was 3 different kits for 3 different situations. Ooh, okay. Nah, but I didn't remember where the microwave was. Anyway, it was kind of, how to say this, I did have like 3 backpacks, 2 small kits, and 1 like EGC. It was not fun, like taking something from one backpack, putting it in another, and then realizing that I need something, and then taking it for the big backpack and such. So I did make a big backpack with all the stuff that I need. But the problem is that all the stuff that I need is kind of heavy. And I do know I should take only the essential, but when you... It's weird because I have even like... What is the essential? Like sleep, survival, like... Sleep, let's say... A shelter, let's say like that, a shelter, paracord. We have 2 kind of swords, an axe and a saw. We have many kind of cutting things like a knife. We have sharpening thing. Now we could go into food things, like extremely compact foods, extremely like freezer or something like that, but also takes place and also kind of have time, something of purifying water, whatever that more primitive filter like cotton, charcoal and such, or more like how do I see this, like better filters, which I don't have unfortunately. I'm just one point to buy because I'm kind of hesitant to buy low quality ones, especially on less than trustable sites. So I really want to go to get one like, high quality and be done with it. But I need to find one high quality. Can I die from poison? Damn. What's the other? Like maintenance stuff, like wire, like how to say wire, sewing kit, metal bits and parts that you could like use to repair stuff. Many kind of tapes, like electrical tape, plastic tape. What's the name of the white one? I forgot. Anyway, there is kind of another thing that I should have bought it, but I'll get the next time. There's kind of the material tape that you put kind of like on stocks, on guns or something like that, or maybe on cameras or to kind of protected. That, let's see, what other, I guess some combination of a big metal mug or maybe a small pen, especially, that's again kind of like, it should be a one piece pen, meaning like a metal one, obviously, or maybe an aluminum one, if there are those kind of pens. It should be one piece. It shouldn't be like two pieces, because there is the risk of breaking it, and you, especially if it's the let's say it's the one that has a handle and it's connected with two rivets. That could be like a critical failure point if it does kind of fall off and you have a somewhat usable pen with two holes in it. You should kind of dig one that actually like solder, like the pen to the handle is soldered onto it, the metal. Let's see, I guess some materials in general like aluminium, like filters, especially if you look at coffee filters, they're kind of good, but they're kind of ass at the same time. You should get another thing I did, kind of nice. You should get some plastic water bottles, like and smoosh them, like get them into the hand, and kind of like press them till they're extremely compact. You should kind of take one or two of those, because that's kind of free real estate. Because technically you could have the chance of finding water bottles in the forest, but that's the same as you having the chance of not finding them, so you better get them with you. They're not that heavy, I imagine around 80 to 100 like grams per bottle, especially if you do got a 2 liter or 3 liter. You would need kind of be like extremely compact, like you need to, ooh, slap can, let's go. You should crush them extremely like small. They're kind of nice, especially for water movement. If you're, especially if you got dirty water from a pond, a stream, any sort of water, you don't want to contaminate your main water carrying. Most likely metal. That's a little bit. You don't want to contaminate your main water carrying source, which most likely will be an metal water bottle, something like that. Or maybe even a silicone one or a plastic one. I wouldn't really recommend, only if you have like, I wouldn't recommend if you have a metal cup outside of it or a pen. You should still get a like metal. We do got one. We need to wait for the sensor. You still got to have a. Let's not die first of all. It take my hand of the mouse for a second. You should still have both be metal. Let's see. Mm, let's see. What other thing you shouldn't do? I guess some Ziploc bags, the one that kind of like pop into place, not the one with the slider. Especially if you do have cotton materials in general, you should put them. You should take like one of those bags with Ziploc bags, like 30 or 20, and buy 2 or 3 of them and put every single metal and things that could be soakable in your backpack into them, which would yes, you should do that, especially if you don't have a waterproof backpack. Even if you do have a waterproof backpack, you should still do that because you get extra plastic, like let's see this, extra plastic containers, plus you get extra protection, especially if you have lighters or anything that gets wet. You can like dry a lighter out, but there is a good chance that if you don't have a ferrocerium rod and your lighter does kind of die and you don't have more than 2, you're kind of dead meat. So yeah, you should put, I would even double block zip that. Any batteries that you have, any external batteries, or maybe even your phone should be, most in the best of cases, in a Ziploc bag or 2 Ziploc bags, like extremely tight. Maybe with the Ziploc bag get a straw to kind of suck the air out to be sealed better. I guess that's another small hack. What other things that I did make? I hope a sandstorm does come eventually. Let's see. I guess if you could, even cooking oil would still be oil nonetheless. You should have a small bottle of oil for whatever ignition, but that would be for maintaining your knives. And around that bottle should be a small cloth. And maybe a sharpening stone if you can find them, but you could, in the worst of cases, if you find some hard stones in the forest or whatever you're surviving, you could sharpen your knife with them. It will be very jagged, but it will do the work. What else? I do guess if you're kind of fancy or you have kind of some leather product that you want to discard, you could like rip it apart and make a leather strap for like sharpening or finishing your knife. Again, that would be pretty good, especially because you don't need a big piece. Yes, sandstorm, you don't need a big piece, you only need a small, like long length one, and even then it doesn't need to be extremely long, and it can be glued to a piece of wood or maybe even to the, did that count? I hope it did. Let's see what I was saying. Brain. Yes, with the leather strap. Yeah, it doesn't really. If you do have kind of like a sheet for your knife, you can like glue it directly on there, so it's like a full set. Again, with the, maybe if you do kind of can buy, there is on the like a lot of websites, like even Chinese ones, the metal sharpening. Not this is the metal sharpening like knives, like plate. There is a small plate that's good only for sharpening. There is no like, there are 2 kinds of sharpenings. There is the sharpenings that you want to actually grind an edge, and then the sharpening that you kind of buff up an edge. And I would put it in the second category, that you buff up an edge, like to make it temporarily more sharper or kind of maintain it. If you want to really like grind an edge, you need something hard, like I said, like granite or something harder, a rock. You could do that with slightly softer rocks, I guess, but a lot of time, a lot of, yes, a lot of patience would be had to find a good rock for sharpening. And how do I say this? Let's hope it did count. Did it count? It did count. We need only one now. What other hack I did have? Hmm. Let's see. Well, I guess the other one could be, but that's kind of more expensive, but could be kind of more survival friendly, is to get a power bank, keep it regularly charged, meaning even if you don't, how to say this, find a more high quality one, I guess. That's the best thing I could recommend, meaning something more Samsung and newer. High quality does mean, how to say this, there's a very sensitive curve of old things which are cheap and newer things which are expensive. You should kind of be in the middle of quality and the time they're made. Because you could kind of find extremely cheap Samsung like, or maybe if you do your due diligence and search for extremely high quality power banks, you should find a good brand. But if they're old, that could kind of drastically remove the quality tag from them. So you should find a semi-quality uh, external battery, and you should kind of get those rechargeable batteries with like USB-C cable. That would be extremely good for like torches or a headlamp or something like that. Or if your headlamp does have like internal battery, again an external battery would be the most ideal, especially a high quality one, because the lesser quality one do kind of advertise a certain number like 20,000. I forgot the measurement, 20,000. Ah, fuck. What are the measurements for not amperes? The charging component for external battery. 20,000, meaning you can charge your phone about 5 times or something like that, depending on your phone, obviously. And like head torch would obviously have way less, like 700, 800, or maybe 1,000 amperes. I don't know if that's correct in English and if it's the correct term. Let's go with battery. If it's 20,000 battery and your head torch does require 1,000, you should take a high quality one that doesn't like lose lose power over time, because battery do kind of do that. Even though lithium batteries don't do it as hard, you should kind of plug it every, I don't know, every week, like a few hours, and then toss it back again to keep it like charged. You could forget about it, I guess, but you risk kind of being half off or maybe even like extremely low when you do need it. I guess with the torch and such, if you're do have all your equipment, head torch, normal torch, maybe some radio would be kind of good. You would could use that. A compass would be extremely nice, and a map, and basic knowledge of that. It's not a charge shrine. What the fuck? Anyway, it's to charge a shrine, not a charge shrine. Reading comprehension. Anyway, like I said, another thing that could be kind of a useful, especially if you have a newer phone, you could install like a compass on it, and it not be like a fake one. Like it does have like your phone, if it's new, you should kind of get a phone info like application that does register all your like sensors, and you should have a what was the name, like a magnetic sensor in it, like yes, you should have a magnetic sensor, biometric one. Is that the correct one? Is for like pressure. You could kind of calculate where you are, your like altitude with that, and it doesn't require internet. I do think for most of them, you should kind of search for a pro one that doesn't require internet. Oh, and the most good one you should take, like the subscription or maybe a pro map app, especially one for trails or survival, or maybe one for cyclists or anything anyway, to have not hiking, that was the good adjective, hiking map, and download your area map on your phone and have it like your country, or if you are kind of on the higher space on phone and it doesn't take like hundreds of gigs, you should take the whole world map to have it online on your phone. So obviously like have your like map, because there's some like hiking your maps even have like tracking that you can start like a session from where you are currently on the map without internet, and then you put start and it kind of tracks your route, and you can kind of go back to it, which would be extremely nice. I guess if you did have more money, you could take a solar panel and put that into your the Scorpion Uzi. Put that into your kit, especially because the high quality ones don't do, honestly, they're not very good, but they are better than nothing, I guess. If you couldn't really go for a full panel, you would need to take the more gimmick one, like the streamer ones with the kind of streamer cells. Like you couldn't you couldn't really do that to actual like solar panel, like a big one. Tornado, good. What other? You should install QX. It's an app with a black kiwi board, which it's extremely useful. You can download a lot of Wikipedia content, like actually locally on your phone, and you can view it. It has extensive languages. Like I did go to that kind of shows. I did go on fuck me. I did go like read all the list of the UX content that you can download, and it's very extensive. It has, I would say, at minimum 100 languages. I don't know how many actually it has, but I did kind of read whatever 1,000 something results. Like I did individually go for everyone, and to kind of get all the things in English for every kind of category, you need about 700 something gigs. I guess an external like hard drive wouldn't really kill to have all that knowledge. And there is survival stuff. There is kind of computer stuff, Linux stuff, Windows stuff. There is kind of questions about like about something. Another useful, very useful thing that I would recommend everyone to have. It's not big. It has 3 something gigabytes. It's the iFixit Zim, which you can open with the QX app. I do know it has Android support. I do not know other platforms like Mac or Linux. So if you do have an Android, I would for sure recommend to get QX, whatever app. I don't know if it has an Play Store app. It should, I think. Anyway, you can get the app, the APK from the first one that you can get the application with the not Android. I'm going to look it up now. I always forget. F-Droid, yes. Let's go back. You can get that from F-Droid, I think. I think. Don't quote me on that. Nope. Almost lost it. Let's see. It's all better, yes. You can get it, and iFixit, the entire all the guides of iFixit. You can iFixit phones, computers, washing machine items, TVs. If there, you can find your model. It has an extensive library of fixing things. And if you cannot actually find your current model, you can try to see things that are similar to your model. And it does have extremely specific case, like all the Samsung phones, all the Apple phones, how to change batteries, how to change components in them, how to change, like I did find it some original Xbox ones. I did open up my original Xbox to see what was wrong, and my power supply did kind of like break. It simply broke, and I need to kind of get a new one if I want to make it live again, or maybe transplant it from another Xbox original. So it's for 3 gigs of space. You get thousands of things that you can fix, which is extremely useful, especially if you don't know something how to open, and if you do find it on iFixit. Obviously you can do that to search it on the internet, so iFixit, probably .com or .org, but the better case you should, so you don't get redirected to fake sites, you should go on Google and search iFixit. That's extremely useful, and I would recommend you do that. Get the Zim from iFixit. It's kind of regularly updated, so if new things do come out, I do think it has even like console repairs for the consoles. I haven't really looked. It should like have. It does have an extensive library of fixing things. What other thing I would recommend? It's kind of hard to think because I do have a lot of stuff on my phone that's basically useful, and I rarely get to use it, but I get that the good part. 180, another 12 something money. Let's see. What I was saying. The alien shouldn't have it, because internet sometimes does go down. So, and I fixed it on the keywords. You have Wikipedia for languages, like the best, was it 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, a million like articles of Wikipedia, like all of them, like indexed with text and text plus image variants. What else? You have for PC, that's kind of Q&A. Oh, you have a lot of TED Talks, like hundreds of them. I did look at them about religion, politics, AI, computers, psychology, survival, luck, not luck. I don't know, every category that you can think of, like TED Talk, it does have it there. I do not know if it's in two formats, like audio or video, but most likely only video. I don't remember, like I said, I did go through all of them. What else? There is an extremely nice survival apocalypse one, but I do think it was 200 something gigs, and I haven't really looked at it, but if you do have the space, you should. I do imagine it's an extensive list of preservation hacks, not hacks, like preservation techniques, preservation like food items, weapons, how to make weapons, how to farm, how to lot of things. There is kind of those things separate from other like keywords downloadable content. Like there's one of preservation food, how to like pickle food, how to and there is a lot of cooking. There is another one with games, especially with Pokemon. There's kind of the entire Pokemon wiki Pokemon, one of those like there that you can download and see like information from a lot of Pokemon like games. My back, I need to move a little. Jumping. Sorry for the disturbance, but my phone decided to do a little bungee jumping. Let's see what other stuff. I do think there is a very big Q&A which with a few gigs that has tens of thousands of questions and answers, which would be good, like if you are using Android or Linux. There is a lot of for coders and programmers. There's a lot of Q&A for C++, Python, Java, then another languages that I do not know. If they use your language, you could search it. Let's see what others. I did say cooking. I did keep a couple of them. The most important one I would say I fixed it. Oh, there is a lot of novel, not novel, like story inclusive on how to write a story, how to do story things. I guess how to write characters. I did a few of them, like hobby related, like I guess those cooking, story making are the hobby related category. A lot of school stuff. There is kind of like classes for math and such from like first grade, 5th grade, 7th, 9th, 12th, like grade. There's material, so I guess if you do have a child or you want to refresh your memories on certain things, you could do that. Let's see. I don't think it does have training material for speaking languages, or it does have like Wikipedia and, like I said, hundreds of languages. It does have the big ones like English, Chinese, and such. It does have a lot of small ones that I haven't really seen in my life. Let's see what other video like formatted things did have. I'm kind of trying to remember that, but it's kind of hard. I really kind of didn't. Well, I do guess I did remember a couple of things. I did say them. What's my goal when I did go on 2 weeks, because I do night off sometimes. You can get also on PC, which is nice. So if you do have more space on PC, you could download the zims on your PC and then toss them, because zim is kind of a format. It's not it's a file format for QX to read. I don't think you can. Maybe you can find zims for like the most updated zims on the site if you do, because obviously all those sources are sites. There's no zim. QX kind of compiles them, obviously legally and under licenses, so you can get like the content to you. So if you want, I do imagine the best updated ones or the fastest, you could go to the site how I did and get the zim for it and open it with QX. So maybe if you are more, I don't know, like programmer heavy, you could make your own zim. If it is it like open source QX? I do not know. I do not know how they encode the zim files, or you could kind of decode them and read them how you wish. Possibly. Like I said, I don't know. If you are interested in that topic, feel free to explore it. But I said, I don't remember. I guess when I did kind of enter the QX status here, I was looking for survival stuff, maybe some TED Talks, and I did kind of that, read all the QXs. I mean, next, unfortunately, I did kind of lose interest. But if you want to do this, let me imagine that TED Talks are kind of interesting. The TED Talks are kind of interesting because it does have about a lot of topics, and I mean a lot. It doesn't really matter if you're male, lady. You could search, find something that's for you. What other things? What other things would I find useful? I guess you can't really do that on normal like Android to disable template tree like Facebook and such. Especially you can disable most of them, but you can't really uninstall them, especially on Android 13. Even with RDB control, you can only, because they're system files, which is ass. you can only disable the like package, and if you kind of re like reboot your phone, they will be installed again, which is ass in my opinion. But I guess you could do that with like uninstall with older phones, but that's unique to what model of phone is. Whatever it was installed, whatever the like the the update would be rolled back if it did update, or it was kind of a asshole update that can be rolled back, and you need to be content. And guess what's the kind of, I do imagine there is a sweet spot out in the like tech world or phone world of the oldest model of phone that has the best performance for the time. Let's take Giphy. But goals. Let's see what they're saying. Yes, I do wonder when the phone world what the like sweet spot between how an old like a phone is, like we're here, and how old it was, and how performance it was, like that's here performance. I do wonder where on the graph is the perfect sweet spot of being the most performative but old enough so you don't get ridiculous like Android OS that doesn't let you even modify like data to an application, because for your own protection I guess it does sandbox out of application that they cannot like change others data, which is good, but unfortunately it's for your own protection, parentheses. It is for your own protection, but for a little bit of control. I don't like when enemies do that. They can I don't know how to say this, hop damage you, so they keep you in the air and you cannot use any control. I should, if I want to stream longer, look for a game that I can kind of lay a little bit back on my chair and like play with the controller. Let's see. I don't really know what else to speak about without like being actually boring topic. That's when I do say that, I mean that. I don't know what to talk about. It's not like I like sand. I don't really like sand. You get the point. Let's see. I guess that kind of thing related to phone games and phone genres. Phone games became so ass. Obviously, you don't put like the AAA phone games like this is the Withering Waves, Genshin, and like I don't know, Bleach, Brave Souls, the ones that are like pouring money into it, like actual normal phone games. I wouldn't say indie, but like normal phone games that can, I don't know, in 2010, 2015, you could go on Play Store, install some fire-ass games, like actually addicting games, and then we don't know about it. I wish there was an index out there with all the games, especially phone games. Phone games for like Play Store, so I can look through them. Because I'm searching for a game, like a night game, like it has the extremely, how to say it, maybe somewhere in the future someone will be this game and give me a link. Let's see. It was a night game with kind of minish nights, like very mini nights animated, and it was kind of like a game where you kind of unlocked more high quality nights and you battle against other knights. That's so undescriptive. It's like saying that novel that the MC reincarnated in another world, that he is a guy. That novel, do you know it? That novel, that anime, do you know it? I don't know. I don't know how the like application art did. Another game that I did find like from a long time ago that got pulled up from the App Store was like Turbo Snail. I don't know if anyone does remember the film. When I was a kid, I did watch it a couple of times with the snail that it fall into kind of like the turbo of a race car, and it gain like turbo abilities, and they're kind of like racing snails. There was a game attached to that, and I did play hell of it. It was, how the hell, when I did kind of install it recently, it was ass, obviously. Being used to these graphics, it was ass. But it was so nostalgic, especially like an old game. Or maybe another old game that's kind of, is it still around? The zombie track one that you kind of with a car you maul zombies to death and gain coins and upgrade to a bigger tracker, more upgrades and battle bigger zombies. That was kind of a childhood game. How the time flies. I do guess the original Angry Birds, Flappy Bird. I do kind of even today search for that rage that came with Flappy Bird. It was a very different rage. I don't think I ever have felt the rage I have felt when I was playing Flappy Bird. And how many times I wanted to smash my phone. Nothing has really hit the same since. It was really a unique experience. Another good recommendation if your file is under 600 megabytes, or if it's, well, you could technically, let's put that aside, you should always use VirusTotal to scan them, especially if it's not something, if something that you did made, like a photo or a video or a game or a program, you shouldn't really be worried. Or if you don't want other people to know of it, or like it's private data in a sense, you shouldn't scan it VirusTotal. There is a big ass disclaimer saying that it's your own responsibility what you upload, but you should, because it is kind of like an engine that scans your file if it is under 600 megabytes without API through 50 or 60 like the engines to verify whatever it's Trojan, malware, or whatever it's tampered with, or whatever has the original, like whatever it was modified or anything. You should I guess even if you're a programmer and did make smaller application or code script, you should also run it through VirusTotal to see if you did give it to other person or a company or something, and they did the same with any other of those like scanning programs, and it did came out that it was a false positive or a Trojan, a pop or something. You don't get your ass lit on fire, so you should do that. And with I do think you could automate that. Like again, there is a big ass poster saying it on the side that if you want to automate, you should get their API, so you can get like mass automation. I don't know how to set that up, so I will not comment on it, but you can plausibly imagine. Go on YouTube and find it. How to set that up. Another good thing that could save you, like for media, especially if you have films on your phone, like downloaded videos. Maybe you should set up a Jellyfin server, especially if your PC is plugged 24/7 in the wall. You could use it, but that's honestly the easiest to be a local network, meaning your home Wi-Fi. You could also put it on not a local network, but that's I don't have anything to do here. That's way more complicated. I did see kind of a process. I did interest myself in. It was something with a proxy. You need to create a tunnel, a proxy, and to do some magic to make it happen, to have an like outward jellyfin server. Again, if you are interested to have your own media server, meaning you can put videos, mangas, light novels, whatever you want on your jellyfin server, and you can access them through the app or to the anything that does have an interface with jellyfin. There are some custom apps for Android I did see, on especially on Android, that you can access your jellyfin server. You could do that, meaning you could have your own media library. Again, a thousand of YouTube tutorials explaining how to do that. I don't think I can add anything more than you should. You shouldn't really kind of think you need entire terabyte to do that. If you, let's say, you want to stream, can you stream on Jellyfin? I don't know. If you could like stream a video like someone, I guess Plex would do that, so you can stream like from your PC on your phone. I don't know anything about Plex besides it's mentioned very much besides Jellyfin, so you should go and inform yourself if it does sound interesting to stream your own shows or something like that. Let's see. What else? I do not know what else that I would myself find useful to share the torch, because there's a good chance you know more than me the things that I spoke of, and that's okay. I do not imagine myself knowledgeable more than an average plebeian in any topic or domain. I don't want to spread the, I don't know, the usefulness of some things, I guess. And it's not really that hard. It is hard, depending on your computer literacy, I guess. How much you know about computers, how easily you maneuver a computer, but it is not hard because I can do it. If I can do it, you also probably can. I wouldn't say it'd be easy or not headache inducing. You need to watch. What I say is, and watching videos is not really helpful. You need to understand why you're watching videos in the first place. Because there's a very good chance that you watch a video and don't get anything, because that's the only thing you did, watch a video. You need to understand the video. And, fuck, and what they're saying, what they're trying to imply. Or maybe you could do the grandpa way, or grandma way, whatever you want to call it. You should take the video, split your monitor in two, take the other part of the things that you do, and bam, hit play. You do something, bam, stop the video. You do the same, bam, hit play again, and do that. Don't try to watch an entire video and then to do like the things, because there's a good chance you would forget. And maybe maybe break something. And if you're not the most PC enthusiast, you shouldn't really fear how to say this, playing with your IPs and such. You should kind of inform yourself what they do and what you should and shouldn't like share online, especially in more technical terms, but otherwise you shouldn't really be afraid of playing with certain things on your computer. Because I do see kind of like most people don't do this kind of things because they fear, I don't know, putting their entire, I don't know, internet history, the entire kind of, the entire self, the entire computer of the internet. That's kind of why like Microsoft, Linux make OSs, so you don't accidentally do that. I did yap a lot. I do feel slightly better because it's not like actually night in my body is let's go to sleep and I'm like I have slept and my body is like I don't remember. And I'm like MF, you did remember, put me to sleep. And him being let's go to sleep again. And I'm like I cannot double sleep in a day. That's being wasteful. Yeah, another guess I have a coffee break. And I have a coffee right beside me, even though it's almost 10 o'clock night. I do guess I need to stay a little bit awake. I do drink coffee now, don't call me crazy. Trust, because I did wake up like extremely late. So technically this was my morning, even though it's night. Hehe. Let's see. I do hope this stream is way better than the one, because I do not know how to resolve my mental problem of not me listening to myself, because I do want to chase some boards, and it's kind of a extreme situation that I can maximum like tolerate 30 seconds of myself. Any more than that I need to do something else. So I need to kind of find a way to resolve that problem so I can actually I don't know how I'm going to edit my like YouTube videos if I'm gonna start. I cannot actually imagine how I cringe myself to death. It does feel way better to I don't know the zero latency thing, like the zero input thing, but it does feel way better with without any acceleration. It's another thing that I would recommend. It's if you ever going to get a controller, either get a brand one like an Xbox or PlayStation, or if you don't have the money to get those, get an 8-bit too. They're, in my opinion, in some cases at the same shoulder, playing shoulder to shoulder with the Xbox and PlayStation. I didn't really kind of get to feel the extremely new ones. Like I did see some crazy expensive ones, in my opinion, like for a controller. But I do own an 8-bit duo, and it's extremely nice. I cannot say it's extremely clicky, even though I did have like Xbox controller, they are not as tactile feeling as good. I sometimes use like the controller only for like playing like a fidget toy, so that would say I'm gonna get another one just for that purpose and kind of a backup for this one if it dies someday. Here's another shout out for 8-bit do if you're going to get a controller, and it kind of extremely high quality one, it's extremely responsive, it has extremely nice, like the buttons are this is especially on the one that I do have, it's the Black Wukong Ultimate Black Wukong. Let's take yeah. It's the Ultimate Black Wukong one. It's wild and it does have chocolate fudge. It does have like the I have it right here. The A, B, X, and Y, they are clicky and not squishy, and the D-pad, it's both clicky and squishy in a very good way. The action travel on the buttons is perfect. It's not very how this is. It's let's see. It doesn't go all the way in, but if you really like press on it, force it, it's perfectly flushed with the rest of the body. It does the like joysticks extremely nice. I guess I would have liked. Did it come with? I forgot if it did come with like the head of the joystick, I guess. I don't know how to name it. The thing that goes out of the rotating part of the joystick. It would be nice if you could kind of get it smaller, especially if you did have like kind of smaller hands. It is nice, but sometimes I do wish the like right one was kind of smaller. Like, and especially because most games layout, you either can control like a character's movement with the left one, and with the right one it's mostly camera stuff. So it'd be nice if I could be smaller, so I have snappier snappier motions. But overall, it's an excellent controller. But yes, obviously, because I'm a new streamer and no one knows me, this was not a paid sponsorship. It was my honest opinion that if you do a search for a controller, you shouldn't take the Chinese ones that are extremely cheap. You should, because it's not expensive, it's really inexpensive controller, especially the Xbox One. I do remember seeing that they have also a Switch Pro one, I do think, which I guess if they do stay the same quality, it's gonna be also nice. I don't imagine you be a drop in quality just because it does, I'm not say factory same material, it's obviously gonna be quality again. But I do like the Ultimate one. I would think I would buy one in the future, the Ultimate C, the one with the slightly more expensive one. I'm curious how is that. This has kind of like, how do I say this? The extra buttons, like the extra utility buttons, has them on top, not on the back. Like, how do I explain this? It's on the top with the long finger, not with the like middle finger on the back of the controller. The Ultimate C or the C1 does have it like that. Like it's like an Xbox. It does have on the back. I make slightly weird motions my fingers when I was trying to explain where the where the button placement is. It's on the back. It's kind of like how do I name that? A clicking prong? No. And they do have like an arcade controller, an arcade kind of like yes, let's put a controller, an arcade like big button one, like the ones with a big joystick and like 6 or 8 buttons that go when you smash it for fighter games. And again, it's another nice. And they do have another one that maybe it's new. I haven't really seen much of it. It's for a phone. It's what is it? A collab with another company. I don't really know much about. What's this? I don't really know much about that. I don't know for the one that's on my table, which is again nice. And also does come with a very nice cable. I start to appreciate the quality of the cable because most like USB to C cables don't kind of support. I use it like my phone cable because they don't support super fast charging. My phone pings and says it's slow charging, you should check your like cable, and I'm like, it's not a bad cable, but my phone is kind of picky. It is a nice cable of 1.5 meters long, I think. I don't think it's a 2 meter. Maybe. No, it's not 2 meters, 1.5. So yeah, if you do find a chance and the money, if you're doing the controller, you should. Even a second-hand one would be better than getting one of those chips, or one of the cheap Alibaba or Temu ones. Even though I don't think they would be bad, but you'll not get quality. Especially, I do know that the Alibaba ones for the PS is gonna be the cheap plastic ones that are like weigh 50 grams, and you can break them with your like if you twist them slightly, you'll never get those, especially if it's for the PS1, 2 or 3. And even 4, I don't imagine it care really much for the, if it's black and it does look like cheap, it's probably 100 times cheaper in hand than the photos, because they do make the photos look more appealing, so you get to buy them, obviously. Yes, not goals. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Like if this conversation does not interest you, you could look at the gameplay, not be slightly happy. Because I do try to give advice that I would also be happy to take, like from somebody else. That's my uh, that's my motive for giving, like, what's the name, promotion, especially for the 8-bit do and QXM, because they're extremely useful and high quality stuff. Obviously, you can get higher quality controllers if you get the extremely professional ones, but they are gonna run you like 5 times X, what maybe even 10 times X, what X will do is, and this more likely they will not do 10 times the difference in quality and like usability, or maybe specialty or uniqueness. My thought when you do kind of get an extremely high quality product and extremely expensive, it's if it does have a feature that any other thing that it's way more expensive doesn't have it, you should only in that case buy it. Meaning if a controller has something that you truly, I don't know, latency of 0.0, 0.0.1, like latency, and you cannot find that on any other controller, that's the only thing that you would, I don't know, maybe you're a COD player or CS player or something that maybe you're faker and you need that latency as much as your carry stands on it. So yes, that's the only possible scenario that you could need to buy something that only has it. But if you want something quality and that doesn't stand, like if something is quality but does have slightly less features and is tens of 10 times less expensive, I do get the feeling you should go for the less expensive. But I guess if you do like quality and are swimming in money, you should take those crazy ass controls and setups, of course, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of whatever your currency is. Let's see. But again, that's my opinion, and I, like I said, I have the trifecta of being stingy, being a mid maxer, and being a DIYer. So that's a professional opinion from somebody that doesn't want to spend money, but wants the highest quality and is willing to modify the thing for highest quality to be the most perfect. Fuck your goal, fuck you. Anyway, let's we'll take a small pause. I need to drink some water. Let's see. I should also stretch, like in the chair. Why is this silent? Let's see, I do like this skin a lot. It's also... Ooh! It's also kind of hard. High noon. Let's... let's take Demonic Soul. What else to... about? I do guess one thing that I'm extremely weak at is second-hand items. I min-max the hell out of it. I could stay weeks searching for the perfect item. I did that a couple of times. I don't know if I'm cursed or blessed. I really wished I have lived in a city where I get like second hands, like entire markets. I did see them in America and some other countries. There are like entire like markets, like entire places with tens of shops with second hand stuff. I would get bankrupt every single time I had money. You know, I'd be slightly crazier at going to debt or something. I would see myself if they did have like extremely high quality stuff or an extreme amount of stuff, because I could find a high quality. I do have, let's say, an eye for it. I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing. My city doesn't have any, like any. It does have small shops that do have one second hand, like small sections, which is ass. I don't like it. There is kind of like online shopping, but that's even more of a scam, because if someone does put something online, there is a 99% more chance of it being researched and them knowing the value, not like somebody, I don't know, grandpa, somebody selling his entire collection of stamps or something that could cost 1,000 and he gets like 200 for it. But I guess that there are two different bottlenecks on the real world stuff. It's the buyer does know, like if they also missed it and sell it themselves at their turn, that would add another layer of filtering. On the internet, I guess the entire level of filtering would be you versus others, kind of contending or see who is more lucky to find for something. Let's see. So I guess does it does seem both situations kind of unique. What I said, yes, there is the filter of like the buyer or the person that accepts something to be secondhand does look at it and kind of, I imagine, search to see if it's valuable, and if they don't find anything or their experience doesn't involve that field of, I don't know, cameras, antiques or anything of the kind, they wouldn't really know if it's extremely valuable, and they at their turn sell it for a small price or an extremely unknown price that they themselves don't know. And the internet would be, you have a horde of people that may know what it is and battling to get it. I'm top 170% of the players. Is it the reset now? Yes, I did get the reset now. Hey guys, I'm 1584 in the world. Wow. Let's try to get a good run in the next 10 minutes to see if we can get higher, like 900 or something. I kind of think that's gonna be our high score for a long time. 1500 in the world. what a lucky pick, eh? What a pick. Let's see. But I guess I will I don't think I'll rank up higher. Only if I do a good run, like in 10k or something. Especially because right now players are playing the game. I guess I can brag. I was 1000 something player in the world on MEGABONK. I was kind of the first player on what it was a mobile game. I was for some time the first player on the world on it was a game with cats and cars a few years ago, where you kind of did make cats like battle cars or something like that, and you upgrade them. I was kind of playing hard games then on the phone, and I did get to be the first player in the world for a couple of hours, I guess, or maybe a day or two, something like that. Which is, it is something, I guess. But a few years ago, I did try again to get the first place in the world, but then the sweats came and I was not even like top 100 or something like that. And then I was like, we're not playing it anymore. So I guess that's it. Let's see. What to yap about? I do wonder when AI is gonna get good enough. Even now, it's kind of honestly, I do not know how like coder helper AI is so good, like one from Google or something like that. How good it is to coding, not for a person that does know what coding is, but for a person that doesn't know what coding is. Like how much how they say that, how much a normal person would be able to operate kind of like an AI that codes, and how much could they get out of it, especially because I don't know it's going to be kind of subscriptions and like licenses probably in the future. It's not going to be so really like how it's now, especially when it does get good, like good enough that you could actually get an fully commercially made app if it does give you that option too. I do know that's obviously the progression that we're going towards, right? Like at one point AI was gonna be monetized so hard that you need like layers of licenses to kind of post something that is AI, at the same time get money, because that's kind of most things in society goes, right? At first it's not restricted, it's the Wild West, then it gets restriction, then it gets balances to balance those restriction, and then it gets a point that you could make money, but you need to invest as much money as you possibly are about to make in it to actually get money. Many things did follow this formula, like the internet, like light, like crypto, like a lot of things. No, how nah, we did go down, fuck. 69, nice. I was top in the world. 1005 something hundred. I got it even on stream, damn. I guess I was lucky. I could have gone higher if I didn't whiff with the run. But I guess this is gonna happen, like probably again in some time when I play again and I kind of get the reset. Maybe I can get it even faster. I don't know how those guys got like 700k or 600k exactly on the reset. Maybe they, how to say this, maybe they put their run, so they started playing the run especially so they get the first, the number one place, something like that. That'd be crazy, right? Let's see. Again, I'm kind of perplexed of why would it didn't like do it today, like freeze, because I haven't closed it or anything. I put it on to sleep. So I am extremely perplexed of why would it freeze. It's either because again in my mind extremely does it short somewhere. I cannot imagine what could possibly be the fault. Because even if it was an extremely simple problem, like again, there's not much places anymore in the PC to be simple problems, so it doesn't catastrophically fail. Like I cannot make, maybe it's an, I don't know, antenna. How do I say that in English? Like I don't know how to say it. The thing that transmits, like internet. Or maybe it's something even, I don't know, the bend on the kind of monitor or LCD screen is kind of like touching something, and every time, sometimes a day, let's see, let's quick you. Sometimes a day it doesn't like it and suddenly freezes. That could possibly be it. But it does freeze, I don't know how to say this, it does freeze like, it does kind of freeze like the whole PC. I do not really know if it does. I can still like move it under the frozen screen. I suddenly bonk you. I probably can't. So nah, I don't know. I really don't. I haven't got any small clue of what it could be. Maybe if I was more technically inclined, I could. That's so sneaky. Let's see. Let's take that. There is a good chance we'll. Let's see. Did I say it? Or I'm searching for some kind of old programs. I did find one. I don't remember the name anymore. And it's not even. I hope that cables comes fast enough. The satellite cables, so I can move data from one halter to the other. What I was saying. I don't really know if I could find like old programs. I hope I do. I do hope I find some, especially useful ones, because I obviously can't find like some non-useful ones, like the oldest version of, I don't know, Microsoft Paint or something like that. Like XP or Vista if it did have it. Huh. Are there any like Vista emulators on Windows? There's probably on like Linux, I imagine. If not, someone can compile them, I imagine, again. Or a bottle. Can bottles run XP Vista or old Windows, or do you need actual hardware? It's like the not GameCube, the Saturn like emulation scene. It's kind of hard to emulate. No, Sega Saturn. Was it that or what other console was extremely hard to emulate? Like there is no hardware. Like you need a lot of power to emulate, even though it's not that hard to. That hard to run on the obvious console itself. Like if you have the native console. Oh, I did see kind of I did saved in my phone like an announcement for a few Game Boy. I do think it was a Game Boy, a normal Game Boy. The DMG one, it was in such a mint color. It was obviously insanely expensive. In my currency, I do imagine someone from America wouldn't really mind. Let's see, luck. It was so in such mint condition. It was even the like box that came with the original Game Boy. It was so mint, so like clean. It did have that offish white, like from I guess age. It was so in such mint condition. I couldn't usually do this. I kind of save like screenshots of things that are extremely nice condition, and I did get a few. I don't know if someone is ever going to search for them, especially I don't know how many K's of screenshots I have, but many. It was in extremely nice condition, and I did kind of on Game Boy SP, Game Boy like what was it, like special edition with Pikachu, but no, not with Pikachu, with oh fuck, it was one extremely, not extremely special, it was a nice one with not Sega, the one with like rectangular, not rectangular, two red buttons, rectangular, and one D-pad. No, I forgot. For the life of me, I can't seem to remember. With that, and have like kind of the scheme pattern on the Game Boy, which was nice again. I think it's the most kind of popular Game Boy consoles to the date are those kind of modded Game Boy Advances with the LCD screens, but with still kind of like the normal hardware, only the case change and the motherboard is still the same, but a new screen which do kind of look sexy, especially and this is on Pokemon ones with the Quasar, which they look, especially the green, and when you do got like the game on it, with the cartridge also being green and kind of the game being green, it does just click very nicely. I would really like to, I don't know, to get, I don't know, to live in a neighborhood that garage sales would kind of keep up, or maybe to have an area. I don't imagine my country those things are real. They're like ghost stories. I did see that only in America, like garage sale, especially if I am lucky and kind of get the ones where people throw like old stuff away. You get old console, old cassettes, old vinyls, and something like that. I would go bankrupt. I literally go bankrupt if I ever found my situation like that. Especially go treasure hunting. I guess I did find my goal for old retirement. If I ever get old retirement, it's gonna be treasure hunting. Ah, why is the edge not edging properly? Where's the boss? Not like a job, treasure hunting for a job, like personal treasure hunting. Let's see. Yes, I should stream more earlier. I don't feel the time lag when I kind of wake up, see it's night, and then I go to stream and I need to look at the like stream clock to see how much I have streamed. Streamed? That's not the word. Streamed. How much I have streamed. Because I feel time is flowing extremely slowly. So slowly that it's kind of hard to concentrate on everything really. Especially because, what is this, if my back was not hurting, I guess I would have, I don't know, sleep longer. But it does kind of like remind me every second that my back hurts. I got kind of like an internal clock which says tick, tick, tick. This is the sound of your life running out. Damn, the first season of Dexter was so good, so fucking good. I should watch them again. I did guess I kind of like, after Rita died, I did kind of like, also my action died for the show, but I guess I couldn't really, I came for Dexter, but I stayed for the show, and it was kind of bad when they killed Rita. I can say only that I was sorely disappointed. I did kind of get the feeling when I forgot his name, Trinity Killer did came out. I was kind of the first second that the story started going that direction, and I was like, what was his first victim? Someone's wife? A single mother of one? Like that doesn't pan out good, does it? And I was right. It didn't pan out good. I should look at the first season of Dexter again. You're so... Especially, how to say this? I did come like dry into Dexter. I did see 2 or 3 kind of like edits, and I was like, this certainly does seem like a time filler, let's watch it. And then when I did go again and watch like hundreds of like edits, I was like, especially because even after dogs like died in parentheses, because in the books it hasn't really died, it was magically saved. I don't remember anymore. Something like that, like he was magically replaced with somebody else. I don't know how that would work. And it's extremely hard because I did take out of the character dogs. Like I did see a real persona, and she was very jolly. The actor that played dogs, he was very jolly in real life. And I was like, this gives me a very weird feeling when I look at you like all jolly, and when I look at the I look at Dexter, and I'm like, I guess my first impression does matter, because it does kind of, it was extremely hard to look at, like, I don't know, I didn't know his name, fuck. I do, the actor of Dexter is Michael Holmes, no? The name was, if I'm not really good with names, so sorry. But I forgot the name, damn, I forgot the name of the dogs, actor. But he was so jolly in, yes, I'm gonna get on lore. Also, Jolly in real life, I did seem like staying on Insta reels. I don't know, Dexter, like I kind of like Michael Halls, but I don't really want to kind of mistake them. Let's go with Dexter. I don't know, like he sings in real life, and it's so kind of weird, but at the same time really nice to hear him sing. Is that there's that one like extremely popular video with him singing the yeah, I got no idea. He's in kind of like in a bar or something like that, or where someone would, like a band would perform, and he's singing, and extremely popular. I did see that like hundreds, not let's say tens of times in edits. Hundreds would be the whole Dexter like edit collection in my mind. But extremely nice. The first season for moi, chef's kiss. I did used to kind of like watch serials, but I don't know why I stopped. Well, I guess I do know why I stopped. They did they don't make how they used to. I did watch when I don't know if it's the first or the second of Stranger Things. It was certainly something. I did like it at the time. I don't know if the latest kind of season was season 2. I did watch only season 1, and if it's season kind of 3, I did watch the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched like the last 8 season, and I'm not planning to do that. Another thing that did I forget again? Another thing. I'm getting angry. Another like serial that was really nice. Was it Grimoire? Grim? Yes, Grim. Yes. No, I need to write that into Grim what? Grim serial. I did binge watch that 80, 100, something like that episode, whatever it had. When I was kind of like I did have a cold, like I did have a kind of more severe cold that was like prolonged for a week or two or something like that, and I binge watched the hell out of it. Like I binge watched all of it. So one of my series that I did love, like when I did watch it and I forgot about it, it was so intriguing. I don't know how to say this. At the time I did watch it, and I did try to find it over the years. I forget it. I go back again on it. I forget it. I go back again on it. Not watch it, but like try to find it and I forget it. I now did put it kind of in a notepad. I did write it. I should also watch Doctor Who at some point, but my min-maxing kind of stops me for that, because I do want to get the watch order right. To get the watch order right, I need to start from the first Doctor Who, the extremely old one. And I don't know if I should, if my Gen Z brain would let me watch extreme old media, because sometimes obviously extreme old media does have certain charm, like it actually does have built-in charm, which new media doesn't actually have. But I don't know if I could. I guess I should try to see if I could. That's the easier solution, right? I did see kind of like a Reddit or maybe kind of a blog with the watch order of Doctor Who. Damn, one other thing that I do want to see again, it's the watch Naruto again without fillers. I did see someone that did kind of compile all the episodes or filler from Naruto in the watch order where there is no filler. I would have liked to watch that. Because how do you say it's filler most? Like the big three, like Naruto and Bleach, I watched both. I didn't watch One Piece fully, but I did watch some One Piece. They're always nice. Like filler, I guess they should be nice. Besides, we don't talk about Bound Arc and Bleach. And in Naruto, most filler are episodes. Let's not forget, Bleach does have extremely fire filler. It does have the Bound Arc, but to combat that, it has a fire roster of fillers. With Naruto, it does have fine fillers. It doesn't have horrendously bad fillers. It does have many fillers, but they're okay. They're fillers, like something that you'd expect if you did the manga or maybe the production of the episode was higher. You need to make a filler episode to fill in the space for the like live when it was kind of was broadcasted, especially on TV and such. I can't seem to remember any bad like Naruto filler, and even let's not really like beat a dead horse. No mouse, of course. Even the Bound Arc, which was okay. It was interesting because we did get to see like hell. I do think that was a Bound Arc. I can't seem to remember whatever. Because was the Bound Arc with the immortal beings that get unfortunate to kind of get a piece of the Soul King and get powers, but not like the Fullbringer's power. They fused with the Soul King, something like that. I don't remember the Bound Arc really well. No, Greenjoy is the second kind of substitute Soul Reaper, and the third actually candidate for the Soul King replacement. The third was that girl from Don't Feed Your Own World, like light novel, that had that special Zanpakuto with the strongest hollow, something with H. I don't remember the name of the hollow. That did invade Soul Society and was like, let me see who has that one the smoke, and he did get smoked. I don't know if it was the Zero Division that smoked him, the strongest hollow, or it was Yamamoto. It's kind of a long time ago when I did hear. I did periodically hear new reels with Bleach information, but again, I take it with like a bag of salt, not even a grain of salt. What else? I'm really curious how Hell would be explained if we ever get to a Hell arc. The cope is strong here. There is so many alluding to the 5 noble families, especially the one that like has the like protects the portal to Hell and it's not ever mentioned. Let's do a Bleach like trivia. Do I remember all the like noble families? The Kyuchiki, the Shion, the Tsukinosha, that's it does start with T. The one with that got his ass beat in the filler, the one, the green hair guy, the most arrogant one. Tsukinosha, something with T. Don't recall. Don't call me that. I know it's with T, but I forgot. There's 3 of the 5. Was the Ishin, the Bleach family, and the last one. Did they start with T? I don't remember anymore. The one with Hell. Which Ishin's family, like Ishin noble family, is kind of down in the gutter. If didn't they kind of like lose the noble status and they become the 4 noble families, the Kyushi, the Shion, the Tokinosha, let's say like that. I know I'm wrong as hell for pronouncing it completely wrong and not knowing it. And the one with the control of the hell. I'm curious what the description of hell and how hell did like come about, because the Soul King did like it is lore that did kind of separate the three realms before. I don't know, is the Primordial Hollow like canon? Because they always kind of did have a like had canon theory that why the Soul King was even born in the first place, and that would be to counter the Primordial Hollow. If, let's say, at the beginning of the world, I do imagine the world in Bleach is an entity, because it did birth the Soul King. I do imagine if the Primordial Hollow was canon, even though it might be mentioned in some light novel or something like that, but I don't know if it's canon or I'm pulling out of my ass. Again, take that as I'm pulling out of my ass, fact that it's false, and spreading misinformation about Bleach. But I do imagine the most kind of, how to say this, logical conclusion for hell would be if the world in the beginning didn't know what to do with the Primordial Hollow, and let's say it was a normal hollow born from the remnant of the whatever things lived before the start of the world. It grew as a hollow, and if it was the only hollow, like the first one, let's say if it did get born from negative emotions and didn't have any competition, it sucked up all the negative emotions for a long period of time, and it have gotten a little bit too big, even influencing that current reality. I guess the world would have brought something into world with the concept of balance, which would be the Soul King, and the Soul King did his job. That brought into the world, that brought balance to the world, which would have implied killing the Primordial Hollow. But I guess that's, you can't really kill something immortal now, do we? Like how, I guess at that point to the world, like the entity, the world, to even brought the Soul King out of, I don't know, from whatever it was being held or creation, created him. I do imagine that the Primordial Hollow would need to be really bad, like world destroying bad, to have brought like the Soul King out of whatever it was. Ooh, nice. And the Soul King did his job, did kill the Primordial Hollow, but I do imagine he did left something, which would be all the resentment, all the malice of the world accumulated at that point, which was the Primordial Hollow. Maybe he did kill the Primordial Hollow, but he did left behind so much resentment that it was, how to say this, potential danger to contaminate all the world and transform everything into something corrupted. And I guess the world again cast that aside, and the Soul King did cast 3 realms from the current one, and maybe 4 realms. I don't know if it is kind of 2 ways this could go. It's either the world did cut the resonance off completely from the realm that was before the 3 realms, and the Soul King split that into 3, which would be Huecomundo, Soul Society, and the normal world, the physical world. And the negative part of either the Soul King or the world split it would have been left alone outside of everything, and that would develop hell, which would congest, like, I don't know how to say it. I guess at one point, if there was nothingness outside, it would have contracted into itself, like all the malice that did like all the malice that was in the world at that point was thrown outside. We would have created a place of absolute malice. And if he did if you imagine that in the after the Soul King did that, a long period of time passes, like, can you imagine that it was canon, no? That the Bleach kind of timeline, it's start of the world, 3 or something million years, each by those like 4 royal guards get or 3 royal guards get like brought up to the past present of the Soul Society, like before the 2000 years of Yamamoto. Yamamoto gets either reincarnated from the normal world or gets born into the Soul Society. Now the kind of canon starts. Yamamoto gets stronger. We don't know that. We need to see it with the past 12 captains of the like old Gotei, the murderous one and the criminals ones. all the old Gothic 13 gets brought up into existence, maybe 300, 500, 1,000 years. We don't really know. We do get the allude that like old Captain Mamoto is 2,000 something year olds. That 2,000 something could be 2,900, meaning the whole all the 13 captains of the Serete could have been half 100 years deal, a 500 years deal, a 900 years deal. It could have been way more than we know. So now we get exactly before the fight with the Yuhabaha, like the one that Ichigo sees, the ones from 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. I kind of forgot what it was in the anime or the manga. And only now do we see the like start of the story when Yamamoto got together the new Gote 13, which first would be our greatest healer, Unohana, Retsu Unohana, and the other noble families. Because it was canon, I imagine, that the noble families have a history a few million years old. There were probably more noble families, because I don't imagine Ichibei and the other not being from a noble family, but maybe they are something like a royal family out there. Again, that's headcanon, that's not canon. Don't play ping pong with me. Again, yes, what I was saying. And either whatever hell was like cut from the world, for the world, from the world, or whatever the Soul King cut, like the malice part of the world, and cast it into nothingness, and then it developed hell. At one point I do imagine that the normal world, like the three realms, malice and kind of hollows, especially because there is a difference when how to say is we did see it even in the anime, is that the sinful hollows get dragged to hell, meaning sin does play a part in you getting to hell, which would mean that hell does have an avenue of like reaching the normal plane, the Hueco and the Soul Society, if the malice or sin like value of a target is high enough, it can summon a like hell gate to drag you into hell. So at one point into the past, we kind of don't know, I assume that hell became stable enough so that it can attract like sin from the three planes, and on the three planes sin became so like high enough that it can attract hell to the three planes. And now we got a situation where we got the fifth. I do get there is a history between hell and the like the fourth or the fifth, whatever you want to call it, like noble family that does regulate hell, the gate of hell, the primary gate of hell I would call it, like the main channel connecting hell to the like real plane, all three. I do guess there is a connection there, but again, my head canon is not strong enough to put a number on it or something like that. And another thing that the world kind of is a real entity, which is that like Ichigo itself, I don't think he was brought on by Aizen, Yuhaba, like Urahara and his father into being. I do think the world play a very good role in it, especially because the world is kind of like a double picker. At the first, I do think maybe even the primordial hollow was a protective mechanism for itself to regulate the beings at that time, because they became too powerful to something that the world didn't like, and it created the first hollow, which did eat all the resentment and malice and became too powerful, and the world again created something to balance that, which should be the Soul King. And if let's say the primordial hollow like main concept was devouring, the main concept of the Soul King, it is balance. It's clearly stated both in the manga, anime, and light novel that is balance. And now I imagine after it has done with it, the Soul King became a little too powerful, and guess what? The world dished out. It would either be Yuhabaha, the son of God. I don't think it would be him. I do think it was kind of a stopgap measure, like creating Yuhabaha, because I do imagine the Soul King does get influenced by the world, even with his almighty, with his four people almighty. But I do imagine the four people almighty can be kind of like a very nice addition, because you can see all feature of the normal plane, all feature of the soul society, all feature of the like Mundo, and all feature of hell. Because if I guess that's my headcanon, because the three people almighty which Yuhabach would have can see only the future of the material plane and soul society and Mundo. No, I don't know if I'm doing an asshole. Anyway, what I was saying, yes, I do think Yuhabach was stop measure from the world to kind of stop the Soul King and did kind of stop him. Maybe even the noble families were kind of a soft like stopping of the Soul King, and the Soul King did see that, like he can see all future, and he did see all future in which he would be like maimed, I guess say, like delimbed, so other people get his power. And you imagine he could see the consequence of not accepting that, which would be like the world creating even a more extreme countermeasure to him, which let's say that the extreme countermeasure to the concept of balance would be either distraction or breaking. And the Soul King is, I do guess, a neutral towards the benevolent entity, because he would let himself not like would let himself be chopped to pieces for the world not to put an extreme measure in place to destroy everything. So I guess that's certainly something that not many entities with the amount of power as the Soul King would do. And the first soft measure, I guess, would be the noble families. The second would be Yuha. And again, that's kind of hard thing to digest as a human, because imagine the Soul King could, no, don't say it's there, could see the future and does know the consequence of not or doing something, like every action he can see and see the consequences with or for that action, and he can do the best. But the best is most likely not destroying the world in the process. And I do think the final stopgap the world did kind of push Ichigo into existence. Especially because if you do think canon-wise, how can the creation of Ichigo Kurosaki come into existence without the Soul King stopping it? It's impossible. The Soul King did knew that Ichigo would come into existence. There was no, because technically you should use your brain. Ichibei only used his power once to block the name of Yuhabaha. He could have easily like blocked the whole, what is it? Could have blocked White from Ichigo if he didn't want to like stop Ichigo from ever using his power, Shinigami power, and he could have pushed him to the Quincy side, or could have pushed him to the Hollow side. And that's a pretty good like foreshadowing that the Soul King, Ichibei, and the Royal Guards do know of Ichigo even before he was born, and they accept that the Soul King may die, especially because he was Ichigo, the Soul King candidate. So yes, knowing, and I do think that even Aizen was kind of a part of the world, but not a stopgap, more like another chance, not another chance, how this is, another, what's the name for it? Another bet if Ichigo did fail or couldn't go up to the task, could have brought slightly distraction. I do imagine Aizen it is either between distraction and dominance. Could kind of go either way if what it is, I think Aizen would dominate if the things that can be dominated is willing to be dominated, and if they are not willing to be dominated, it would be destruction. So yes, I do imagine that Aizen was another bet from the world if I don't know, the Soul King did have a sudden change of heart that didn't want to stop existing anymore, or I don't know, maybe Ichigo. And again, another thing that could be easily seen from this, now Ichigo becomes the main thing to be balanced, and guess what? It came out of it. Ichigo's son. I forgot his name. But Ichigo-san did have a slight roster of being a Shinigami, a Hollow, a Quincy, a Fullbringer, having his power from his mother's side, and having the power of Hell, and having there's possibly a good chance that you'll have also like Yuhabaha's power, especially because Ichigo did, when I speak of his power, imagine he did have the nice quality of like Quincy power, which he himself didn't get from his mother. He did get the pure, but not pure Yuhabaha pure. So I imagine that his bloodline, especially at his peak of his power, and he was the most powerful after unlocking Bankai, his true Bankai, and other power-ups. I do imagine all his bloodlines that converge such a point, such a high purity, that his child would have an extreme amount of purity in his bloodline. So yeah, I do imagine that his kid is the new balance of the world for himself, because he does have Hell power, he does have Quincy power, Shinigami power, Hollow power, Fullbringer power, the power of like healing by reversing time from like our best Gal or Ihimen. So yeah, that's gonna be the next balancer of the world. And possibly just kind of a two-way balance, both because we kind of didn't see any character in the series besides the family that does control Hell, but we didn't see much of them. I can't say that they control Hell without having an damaging connection with Hell. Or if only Ichigo's kid did have Hell power without actually getting corrupted into whatever the Hell beings are, like made of pure, like malice, I imagine. Like that mad scientist from the Spada side did get brought to Hell, right? And was not like the white hair guy. I forgot. It was kind of a foreshadowing, especially in the short panel manga that we did get with his like. It's not spoiler, that much of a spoiler. When he got like how do I say this? It was like foreshadowing in the manga that he was the, like, I don't know, the controller of Hell or something like that, or the like protector of Hell, or the doorman of Hell, something like that. Especially with his Zanpakuto being a double one, and him having a pretty big ass piece of Soul King stuff into him. And whatever like Hell beings are, I just see them being like depicted in full black, like dripping malice of them. So I imagine Ichigo's kid has such pure concentration of power that doesn't really matter whatever Hell beings are made of. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Me saying it. Yes, it was kind of like a double balance towards Hell itself. That you imagine someone that can control Hell power without being corrupted by it would be extremely balancing factor, and towards Ichigo itself. But now I do not know what could be the balancing factor to Ichigo's kid in itself, because the world will not stop balancing itself. I do think that could never come to cease, no, to a stop. The world will always balance, create something new to balance the world, and I cannot possibly imagine with my small minded brain what could be the combination of 6 powers and like Orihime's time manipulation. I cannot possibly imagine what could possibly be a balancing act to that. Maybe a new power, like a new concept power, like Ichibe's black, or like the Soul King balance. Another thing that I did say, I do know what's stopping with Yamamoto's level of power, wisdom and battle. I do not imagine that he didn't have the chance to go up to the like Royal Guard and become one of the Royal Guard, but obviously he wouldn't do that. He has got everything to like take care of, but I don't imagine him not like advancing his power, his power to the